that one starts out with Billy, little kid Billy.
Yeah, Chief Woodhead.
And Chief Woodhead, yeah.
There's only 3 to this anthology. They got a little...
Lazy.
Yeah.
Same guys, though. Because Tom Savini's the garbage guy in the beginning of this one. So, Billy gets his magazine, the Creepshow magazine, from Tom Savini. And we start off with the Indian guy. This is where... What's his name again?
George Kennedy.
George Kennedy and his wife own a shop. And they...
Martha and Ray are their character names.
There we go.
Wow.
I took
Not
notes.
bad. An Indian tribe owes them some money. They have a huge debt with them, so they just give them like a really sacred necklace or something.
Yeah, it's a bundle of jewelry, and they're sort of like the last general store in a dried up town.
There's nothing there.
So they're bleeding money. Nobody has any money to pay them, but they keep giving out goods. Then eventually the chief of the local Indian reservation comes by and sort of wants to pay back all of the debts that they have accumulated. So he gives them these jewels as sort of a
collateral.
Collateral, thank you. They're not making any money, and she keeps saying that he's too good-hearted, and people just walk all over him. And right after Ben Whitemoon, the chief, drops off these jewels.
Is that his name?
I believe so. This young sort of, I don't know if I want to call him.
Is it his nephew?
I wondered. I don't know.
I think it might be the chief's nephew. He's got long black hair.
Mm-hmm. But
because he knows that he has the jewels.
Does he, or does he just happen to say like what's in the package?
I think he knows that he has the jewels. Isn't it the chief's nephew or something?
It is the chief's nephew.
So it's Sam is the chief's nephew.
Yep.
Handsome young man, good looking, long, beautiful black locks
like
of hair.
Like Antonio Banderas from way long ago.
Like a Native American Antonio Banderas. Sam rolls into the general store with a sawed-off shotgun. One overweight man they call Fatso, and another guy they call Rich Boy, I believe.
If you're a gang, why do you take somebody named Fatso with you?
Fat stuff. I don't know. I found it comical though when they kind of take over the store for a second, for a few minutes, and they're just kind of rummaging around taking stuff, and there's a shot of Fatso gulping down a 2-liter of Diet Pepsi, which I found ironic.
He's gotta lose that weight.
Yeah. So this group of guys that comes in to rob the general store, their motivation is Sam is the ringleader, and he wants to steal enough money to go to L.A.
star?
because he thinks he's...
Right?
Yeah,
This is how you become a movie star. You rob stores and...
He believes that he's attractive enough to make it in Hollywood.
Well, he got into Creepshow too, so I mean...
So they start taking everything. Eventually, he holds a gun up, his sawed-off shotgun up to Martha. And as her husband, Ray, kind of tries to rescue Martha, Sam keeps saying, like, one step and I'm going to blow her head off. And eventually he does kill Martha, and then he kills Ray. What we didn't touch on is the Native American statue out front, Old Chief Woodenhead.
What kind of name is that?
I don't know, but
Chief Woodenhead.
It makes sense.
He does have a wooden head.
He does have a wooden head.
He's a wooden sculptor, and he is...
Does he...
He's alive.
Move
yeah, he moves a little bit. Yeah, during the beginning, you can kind of see him move a little bit. And I thought the special effects on Chief Woodhead were kind of good. He moved. He was wooden looking, but he was animated well, or however they did it. I don't know if they just had a guy in a costume, but he moved well. So the 3 assailants take off, each to their own home. They're going to gather their stuff up and then leave for Hollywood. After they leave the store, Chief Woodenhead basically comes to life and slowly hunts each and every one of them down.
He scalps them, doesn't he?
Yeah, he definitely scalped Rich Boy, I think.
He scalps Sam, because he's holding...
That's right, Sam.
He grabs that long black hair.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one to go is Fat Boy, and he's sitting at home drinking a beer, watching a baseball game, and he gets a couple of arrows to the chest, and he's dispatched quickly. There's not much of a struggle.
Mm-mm.
And then...
the other one's killed in a garage.
Yeah.
He's hacked up.
Yeah, with a sweet Firebird. He gets hacked up, and then Sam ultimately is dispatched via scalping. And that's pretty much the end of that one.
Yeah, the Indian comes back and sees that the thing's holding his nephew's scalp, and he's like, okay, that's all. He's not real upset.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
It was kind of jumpy. At the end, I think they could have had a little bit more of a interaction between the Chief Woodhead and each of the 3 guys. I think it would have been
I think he just had a mission and he got it done and he was done.
I could have used
you
2 more minutes on each story just to
maybe
see
a throat slash too.
I would like to see him like stalk them or kind of torment them a little bit, but yeah, that was it. It was
very
pretty good.
efficient.
Yeah.
All right. Then we cut to Billy buying a Venus flytrap, right?
Yes, this is an animated.
Mm-hmm.
Each of these stories are animated, or sort of bookended by an animation of Billy now.
Yeah. Once again, these do not tie together.
No, they don't seem to.
There's just a story in the middle of each of the longer ones.
Yeah.
So Billy buys a Venus flytrap, and we move on to the second story. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So the second story is
amazing.
The raft.
I don't know how to feel about this one.
It's weird.
Very strange. 4 kids. One of them has a really strange name, and I can't remember what it is. One of the girls.
I got Laverne.
Laverne, that's it.
That's weird.
Laverne hasn't been used in.
Other than one time in history.
I thought it was going to be something like...
I haven't seen or heard the name Laverne since Laverne and Shirley.
And that is it, yeah. So the 4 kids...
That's a weird name.
They take a raft out to the middle of a lake, and it's inhabited by a giant black oily mass that eats.
There's a sign too when they pull up that says no
swimming, but we don't see it till the
end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had to know it was there, right?
It was pretty well covered up.
They'd all be alive right now if they'd have seen that sign.
No, they would have been like this.
Yeah.
My question is, they probably have heard about this place before, right? How would you just stumble upon something like that?
I don't know.
Well, they were going up there on purpose. I mean, they were like, we know about this. They called it a lake. However, to me, it was a large pond.
That's because did it ever show like a? It never like panned a shot that it just showed like all water, did it?
So.
One of them gets pulled in right away.
Yeah. Well, they show up. They smoke a little bit of weed. They show up at the beach.
That was their problem.
Yeah,
that'll get you killed.
They broke rule number 1. They started smoking weed.
Wait, is that above sex?
No, that should be
sex
an anti-weed commercial.
Sex is always... Drugs are always first, then sex in these movies.
Sure?
People show up, they smoke some pot, and they're eaten by oil.
That's not true. Jamie Lee Curtis, she smokes pot at Halloween.
But she dies eventually.
Not till H2O.
Not soon enough.
There's a little bit of foreshadowing because when they pull in, there's a duck. And I had subtitles on, and the duck's sort of going... And it said, duck quacks in distress. so I knew there was some shit going down in this water.
If you're deaf, you look at that and go, poor duck.
And then there's a guy named Cisco, and he's
singing the thong song?
No, but when he strips down, he's wearing Hulk Hogan underwear.
And the mania just blew my 24-inch guns out.
It looks like...
That's a Hulk Hogan reference 2 weeks in a row.
That's right. He was wearing yellow...
Well, it was the 80s. He was everywhere.
A yellow Speedo. Yeah, and so they all swim out to the middle of this lake, and in the center is a raft or like a floating dock. And they just want to go swimming. And very quickly, this scummy, oily seaweed patch, which floats on top of the water, approaches and eats one of the girls named Rachel. And then the oil slick, they're all freaked out. And then the slick goes under the raft. The oil slick goes under the raft, and they all kind of freak out and try to decide what to do. Or one guy apparently has had some work cleaning up oil slicks in the past, and mentioned that he's seen something like this before.
Did you get to the rapey part?
No.
Okay, good.
The oil goes under the raft.
We are Penn State. That's great. Just throw it away.
That's awesome.
Man,
how long does it go? That's awesome.
It goes,
plays the whole song.
Penn State.
This oil slick goes under the raft and eats Deke.
It
grabs his foot,
through,
and it sucks him right through, which is kind of cool. He's basically like bent in half and pulled down into the water. Then Randy and Laverne are left on the raft.
So their friends
overnight.
are dead. And
their friends are dead.
What better time to cop a field?
I guess this is the best time to start making out, right?
Well, they make out.
I think she shows her boobs here.
Well, she eventually falls asleep.
As far as I know, all
I
that
don't
happens
think
is
she falls asleep.
he just feels her up while she's asleep.
She's
I think
passed
there's
out.
boobs.
Yeah, she's passed out, and then he starts running his hand up her leg and gets to her boobs and just pulls her boob out.
I forgot he was a perv.
Yeah, and then he starts kind of getting all up on her, and then he turns her head over, and it's all been eaten away by the seaweed oil slick
Now
monster.
I'm surprised he doesn't just keep on going after,
Yeah, because it's already basically...
My friends are dead, I'm gonna grab some boob. Her face is gone, I'm gonna grab some...
So Laverne gets eaten.
So he decides to Michael Phelps it back to shore, right?
Yeah, he tries to Michael Phelps it back to shore. And the...
He makes it.
And it makes sense because Michael Phelps, hot...
That's right.
It all comes together.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
You become a mermaid when you smoke pot, apparently.
I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking the oil slick isn't that fast. And if you look on the far side of the shore behind them, it looks closer to me than the beach where their car is parked. However, he still seems to want to go the long way. Still,
He makes it.
He outruns the oil slick.
Outswims.
Outswims, thank you. He makes it to shore, where he rests really, really close to the
Does
water.
he say, like, I beat you or something?
I do not know.
He's like, I swear he says, like, I won or I beat you or something.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Something cocky.
And then all of a sudden, tidal wave of oil slick.
Right up on him.
It just flies up in the air, and then you know it's over. And I don't think they really show anything. It just ends on that. And then the camera pans over, and then you see the no swimming sign, sort of obscured by some flora.
Some flora.
Yeah. And then we go back to the cartoon with Billy.
Oh, Billy.
Billy he's driving home with his Venus flytrap on his bicycle, and he runs into a group of bullies, and he kicks one right in the B-sack. He drives off, and they start chasing him. And then we move on to the third story in the film, which is
awful. Not
good. However, it begins immediately with nudity. 80s.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, at the very beginning. What's going on here is there's a wealthy woman, Annie Lansing, who is having an affair with her husband, George Lansing. She's having an affair with this guy. I don't know what his story is.
He's a rich guy. That's all I remember.
Yeah, and so she needs to make it home before like 11:30 so that she can... before her husband gets home so that he doesn't know she was out. So she takes off down the road in her sweet Mercedes and promptly runs over a guy and kills him.
And drives away.
And yeah, so she's parked there, and then a guy drives by, and then she's like thinking, how am I going to get away with this? And she's like, I'm just going to drive away. So she just turns around and starts driving home on another route.
Show up with Stephen King.
Then a truck pulls up to the one car stops after she's left, and then a large, like a tow truck or something, pulls up. And my favorite line of the entire film, as they look at the dead person lying on the road who she just hit, and the truck driver says, "Looks like a black guy, huh?"
Does that make any sense?
Of all the things you would say.
I bet that was Stephen King's only contribution to this movie.
When you saw a body.
Ad-libs that line. And they're like, I guess we'll
just run it.
When you see a body lying alongside the road, you just say, "Looks like a Filipino man, huh?" Like, what is that about? You don't just say it looks like whatever race. I just found that to be really funny. So that switches back to the Mrs. Lansing, who refers to herself as Mrs. Lansing the entire time, which is kind of strange. She's sort of talking to herself, and she...
In third person?
Yeah, the whole time she's like, "Oh, you've really done it now, Mrs. Lansing."
That's not weird. Sometimes I call myself Cobra.
Mr. Cobra.
Mr. Cobra.
I'm like, Cobra, no.
So, she... Suddenly, is it in her car that the dead guy is the guy she hit? Is he in her car at this point? And he just keeps saying...
If he's not in her
Thank
car,
you for the
he's
ride,
like...
Yeah, thanks for the ride, lady. Thanks for the ride,
Is
lady.
he in the car? Or is he like on the windshield and...
The first time he shows up, he's on the outside. Then I think he gets onto the windshield. And then she hits him again, I think.
Oh,
then he's all over the place.
He's got like tread marks on him, hasn't he?
She runs over this guy like 7 times. Basically, he just keeps haunting her. She gets away from him. He's on top of the car. She speeds away. He falls off onto the road. She drives like 3 more miles, and there he is again. Or here he is in front of the car, or he's in the back seat.
He's
just
everywhere.
Constantly just haunting her. Eventually, he's hanging on the front of the car, and she drives into the woods and smashes into a tree to kill him. She backs up and repeatedly just smushes him into this tree. Then her car, she gets stuck, or she just gives up and just falls asleep. And she wakes up and the body's gone.
Yeah. She does fall asleep. Let me repeat that. She does fall asleep, and she drives home, where he's there again in the garage.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And then she tries to offer him money. I think she tries to give him $50.
What? Can you give money to a ghost?
I don't think she understands what's going on here. Still.
She tries to shoot him and hit him again. Yeah.
She's a woman.
Just keep running him over. It'll work.
Oh, she did shoot him at one point too. Yeah, he was trying to get in the car, and she shot him several times and drove off, and then he came back. But yeah, eventually she's in her garage.
Oh, it's
and
money that you want.
Well, I was gonna say, why would a woman carry a gun around in the 80s? Because they're having an affair, I guess.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Is that a thing in the 80s?
I don't think women carry a gun in the 80s.
I don't know.
Because Ronald Reagan was president? I'm just picking something random. I actually don't
That's
know.
real random.
So she is basically eaten by dead zombie
Her
ran
husband
over
comes home
black
to
guy
find
guy.
her dead.
Yeah. And we see the husband, who I believe is the first car that drove by in the first place.
Mm-hmm. He is, yep.
Irony or something.
Oh, shocker.
Mind blowing, yeah.
I don't know what just happened there.
And
Yeah,
it's
I'm
over.
like, oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah. And we're back to the animated special, who is being pursued by these bullies, and they corner him in like this, I don't know.
An alley type thing.
Yeah, it's like a
Or jungle.
gravelly area or
Yeah.
something. And
His Venus flytraps eat all of them.
yeah, like 3 giant Venus flytraps pop out and eat every single one of the bullies. And that's the end of Creepshow 2.
Yeah, there's only 3.
Now, we need to get our former podcast host opinion. Would do the honors. I don't know.
There's no way it's gonna answer.
What is he like? I don't like Cobra. Piece of shit.
Hello?
Hey! Hey, we're doing the podcast right now, and we need to know how you feel about Creepshow 2.
It's great.
All right. Thanks. See you later.
Bye.
I
It's
just needed to
great.
get it.
Okay.
That's all I wanted. It's not what I thought he would say at all. It's all right. That's what I was hoping for, but
It's great.
It's
Ooh.
obvious why he's been fired from the podcast. Creepshow 2 is not great. Creepshow 2 is a 2.
Ooh.
It's not cohesive.
I don't know if it's a 2.
Nothing is scary. I wasn't frightened or freaked out at any point in the movie. The best one was probably the first. Well, I mean, the raft was kind of good because it was the oil slick was mysterious, but generally it just wasn't
The
a
third
good
one
movie.
was the worst out of the whole anthology.
It was pretty bad and it was long. So yeah, I would give this one a 2. I'm not a big fan at all. Creepshow 1 was better.
doesn't it suck that that's the one you took notes on?
Yeah.
I would give it a. I'd give it a 4.5 out of. I'm telling you, there are some bad movies out there.
You're just rating it because there were some boobs.
There were some boobs, yeah. If you don't have a storyline or plot.
Oh.
Oh, Ben's calling back. Oh shit, I hung up on him. Alright, I'll try to call him back.
I hope you hang up on him again.
Anyways, 4.5 out of 10. There are bad movies out there that you don't know about that you're gonna have to watch, and then you're gonna be like, I seriously regret giving that a 2 because
I wonder
this
where
one
your
was
half rating
awful.
went.
I got more to say about Creepshow, too. That movie had it all.
I'm listening.
Elaborate.
Continue.
Bros getting killed by a floating trash bag.
I forgot.
What's better than that? Pot-smoking bros getting killed by a trash bag. That was my favorite one.
The oil slick, the
Yeah.
trash bag.
Oh.
Yeah, that was clearly a
And
piece of plastic.
that guy trying to get laid on the raft. Like, total carnage is breaking out. Everybody's being killed by a giant trash bag. He decides that's a good time to try to, like, pop a feel on that passed-out hot chick.
One last time before you die, though.
Yeah, but it didn't really seem like he was thinking of it that way. He was just kind of like, man,
Everyone's
what else?
dying, I guess you gotta try to grab a titty.
So do you think there was anything tying these 3 short stories together in this film?
Did you just leave me a voicemail?
Nah, I didn't leave you a voicemail.
Are you lying?
Nah, I might have left you a voicemail.
Yeah, these 3 aren't very cohesive, are they?
No, I wouldn't say they're cohesive. That one, the fat kid that hit through the beer can through the chest with the arrow, that was awesome.
That was cool.
And the other one had Dreams of Hollywood, which was kind of weird. It was kind of a weird relationship between the Indian and like the rich kid. They're like, you must kind of have a little bit of gaze going on there. It's like, we're gonna go to Hollywood together, man.
I didn't notice that.
Condo. It was kind of. I noticed a little bit of tension. I don't know how to describe it. It was a little weird. I like Creepshow. The driver one.
Do you like that one better than the first one?
Yeah, well, yeah, Creepshow 2 was great. I liked it.
Okay. Thanks, Ben.
All right, that's my piece.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye.
I think they just tried to fire this one out as fast as they could. Did he say 4.5 out of 10?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 4 out of 10. He's
That's what
real
Cobra
close.
said.
He's in the ballpark. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, because we'll eventually get there. But it's not great either. It's a step below the first one. It got less stories, less cohesiveness. It seems like less effort. Not as good acting, but that's because they have subpar actors. It's what you expect a sequel to be. It's less than its predecessor. So.
And we're